we will see about the different kinds of crystal defects, because practically the such type of perfect arrangement in the atomic arrangement in the materials is not observed. So how these defects or imperfections will be introduced within the crystal, that thing we'll see, and which are the different kinds of defects which will be present. So first kind of defect is point defect. These are also known as zero dimensional defects. Missing of an atom from its regular site. It is called vacancy type of point imperfection. It is normally observed, this kind of point defect is normally observed in pure metals like your silver, copper, gold, etc. So on the left hand side, the diagram indicates, giving us the information about the perfect arrangement of the atoms in crystal. It is 2D diagram. In unit cell, we had seen 3D diagram. And on the right hand side, if an atom is missing from its regular position, so this is called vacancy type of imperfection. Second type of point imperfection is in this perfect crystal which belong to suppose a single uh, element, suppose it is iron. Now when a foreign atom is added to the iron, suppose it is in the form of carbon, then the carbon and hydrogen, they have got very little atomic dia, so they may occupy the space available between two neighboring atoms, and the space available between two adjacent or two neighboring atoms, it is known as void. So that space is very small. But as the carbon atom has got very little atomic dia, so it can occupy the space available between two neighboring atoms, and thus it will lead to the generation of interstitial kind of imperfection. So example is iron carbon. A foreign atom having radius equal to parent atom may substitute any parent atom. So if the diameter of the foreign alloying element which we are going to add in the parent atom, it may substitute, because if its diameter is either equal to or approximately equal to that of parent atom, so substitution is possible. If the diameter is very less, like in case of iron carbon system, then the substitution is not possible. So in that case, it will lead to the formation of interstitial type of point imperfection. Substitution is possible in case of brass. Example is copper zinc, because the diameter of zinc and copper are approximately equal to each other. So on the left hand side, the interstitial type of point imperfection has been shown. This dotted darkened atom, you may consider this of carbon, and parent atom is of iron, while on the right hand side it shows the example of substitutional type of point imperfection. So this dotted atom, you may assume of zinc, and the parent atom may be of copper. So remember the example for interstitial iron carbon, and for substitution copper zinc. Another kind of defects are known as line defects. A part of line of atoms missing from its regular site. These line defects or line imperfections are also known as dislocations. Only the line imperfections are known as dislocations. Other defects, other kinds of imperfections are not known as dislocations. There are two kinds of line defects or dislocations. First one is known as edge dislocation, and second one is known as screw dislocation. They have been given such kind of name because here you may see in the diagram, in edge dislocation, an incomplete edge has been shown. So there is an incomplete plane, incomplete atomic plane below a particular line. So the defect is lying along an edge. That's why it has been given the name edge dislocation. While on the right hand side, the imperfection is present in a screw-like fashion. So it is screw dislocation. Here in edge dislocation, it seems that an extra half plane has been inserted. Now, the sources of dislocations or imperfections are the procedure of casting or solidification, mechanical working, heat treatment, etc. So dislocations come into material from any one of these manufacturing processes or treatment given to them. The sources of dislocations for both these two, that is edge and screw, will remain common. So most commonly, the edge dislocations are observed within the material, but many times the screw as well as the mixed kind of dislocations may also be present. Number of dislocations is expressed by the dislocation density. 10 to the power 5 dislocations, 10 to the power 10 dislocations, 10 to the power 100, like that. So more the number of dislocations, more will be the dislocation density. Without presence of dislocations, mechanical processing like rolling, forging, etc. may not be possible. So that part in detail we'll see under the head of cold working and hot working. That is plastic deformation. Dislocations affect mechanical properties, kind of or nature of deformation, deformation characteristics, recrystallization temperature, phase transformation, etc. Recrystallization temperature means, as its name indicate, recrystallization. Re means repetition, and crystallization means formation of crystals. The temperature at which reformation of the crystal begins, that temperature is known as recrystallization temperature. As far as the question of phase transformation is concerned, so about this phase we will see under the head of phase diagram or equilibrium diagram. Now plastic deformation. There are two kinds of deformations, elastic deformation and plastic deformation. Initially, when the external stress is applied on the material, it will experience elastic nature of deformation. It means when you withdraw the amount of load applied or stress applied, then the material will assume its original dimension. But when a condition is reached, when you repeatedly going on applying more and more amount of stress on the material, and when you withdraw the amount of load applied, the material may not assume its original dimension. So that moment is known as plastic deformation or permanent, beginning of plastic deformation or permanent deformation. Plastic deformation is nothing but the movement of dislocations. Why it is called movement of dislocations? Because in the perfect arrangement of atoms, suppose there is no dislocation or imperfection present, then in such kind of perfect arrangement of the crystal structure, it is highly difficult to move the atoms. So presence of imperfections or dislocations are desirable. In the presence of these imperfections or dislocations, the deformation will become easy. So plastic deformation is said to be the nothing but the movement of dislocations, because it is easy to move the imperfect atoms or dislocated atoms rather than the atoms which are perfectly or regularly arranged in a systematic way. There are two kinds of plastic deformations, namely slip and twinning. Slip is movement of atoms by a few interatomic distances. The whole atomic block will move over one another. So by much more margin, the atomic movement take place in this kind of or in this mode of plastic deformation. While in case of twinning, the atomic movement is very less. Atomic movement by a fraction of an interatomic distance. Second point, stress required to start sleep is less, while the stress required to start twinning is more. However, to keep continue the plaster deformation by the mode of sleep, in order to keep continued the deformation by sleep, you will be required to apply more and more amount of stress. While if the deformation is taking place by the mode of twinning, then to keep continue the plaster deformation by the mode of twinning, less amount of stress will be required. So start at the start point, the stress required in case of sleep is less. However, to keep continue the deformation by the mode of sleep will be very high. So that thing we'll see in the code working and hot working. Point 3 gives us the information about the difference between sleep and twinning. How can we demonstrate the atomic movement in case of sleep and in case of twinning? In sleep, the sleeped portion has same kind of orientation of atoms, while in case of twinning, the twinned portion shows mirror image of untwinned portion. So left hand side portion and right hand side portion, these are the twinned and untwinned portion, and the middle portion is the twinning plane, along which the plaster deformation by the mode of twinning has been taken place. Number 5 point, sleep is more common in BCC and FCC metals. BCC means body centered cubic crystal structure, and FCC means face centered cubic crystal structure. While the twinning is more common in SCP metals like magnesium, zinc, cadmium, zirconium, beryllium, etc. Normally what happens, the twinning is rarely favored. In most of the cases, the plaster deformation will be taking place by the mode of sleep. Because number one reason, the atomic movement is very less in case of twinning, and number two, by the twinning, the plaster deformation will only take place if only favorable, suitable number of sufficient sleep planes are not available. Planes which we had seen in the earlier lecture, 110, 100, 111, these are the different kinds of planes. But along all these planes, in all the directions, the atomic movement or plaster deformation will not be facilitated, will not be taking place easily. Only on a particular plane in a particular direction, the plaster deformation by the mode of sleep will be taking place, and these planes are known as sleep planes and sleep directions. These are nothing but the planes and directions having highest atomic density, because it is easy to move the atoms if the plane has got most packing efficiency. The plane is fully packed with atoms. If the number of atoms present on a particular plane in a particular direction are less, then you need to apply rather more amount of stress. So sleep planes and sleep directions are the planes and directions which have got highest atomic density, because with highest atomic density it is easy to move the atoms. Fortunately, in FCC metals like your silver, copper, gold, highest number of slip planes and slip directions are available. That's why the possibility of plastic deformation by the mode of slip is more, or you can say the slip can take place easily in case of FCC metals due to the presence of highest number of favorable slip planes and slip directions. That's why the FCC metals have got very good plasticity, or they have got very good ductility, like your silver, copper, gold. Last point, microscopically, slip appears as thin lines, while if the plastic deformation has been taken place by the mode of twinning, then when you observe the material under microscope, it appears as thick twin bands. So in this way, you can identify whether in the material the plastic deformation has been taken place by the mode of either slip or twin.